What's up everyone, Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. Today we're looking at some lights from Thorfire. And what happened was Thorfire contacted me. They said, hey, you want to check out some of our flashlights? I'd never heard of them before, so I started digging around on the internet, and eventually I found a review of a Thorfire keychain light by We All Juggle Knives on YouTube. And I like him, I like his perspective, I feel like he's really fair and honest in his reviews. And so I said, yeah, let's check out some of these lights. So they sent me the PF001, then the VG10, and then the C8S. So we're going to look at all these lights. I'll give you some specs on each one, and then we'll take them out and test them just so you can have a sense overall of Thorfire products. And maybe there's something you want to dig into a little bit more and maybe even purchase. First up, we have the PF001. I've been using this as an EDC light for the past probably 3 or 4 weeks, and I've actually liked it a lot. Some of the basic things to know: you do have a little bit of an aggressive bezel there, so if you tap somebody with that, they're going to know that you're not trying to be too friendly. You've got the pocket clip here. Take off this back end cap, put your 1 AAA battery in, and you're good to go. 3 different settings: moonlight, medium, and high. There's your moonlight, medium, and high. Moonlight, medium, high. Now when you click it in, it's going to obviously lock in as opposed to just kind of tapping gently on the pressure switch. Then when you unclick it, it's going to go off. Click it again, it's always going to go back to the moonlight setting. So it's always going to start there, even if you're up at the highest setting and you click it in. When you click it off, wait a couple moments, and then turn it on again. It goes back to the moonlight setting. The one thing that's a little bit interesting about this is I'm not able to find the Lumen output, and I haven't heard back from Thorfire yet, but I've dug around in reviews, I've dug around on different forums, and I cannot find the actual output for the 3 different settings. I will tell you that it definitely is shining brighter than my Streamlight MicroStream, especially at the highest setting for this, and that's why I've liked it, because the MicroStream is a little bit smaller than this, but this is giving me a lot more output, so I like that. Some of the details you might want to know: Cree XP E2 LED, and they're saying that's going to give you a 20-year lifespan. Your size is approximately 105 millimeters and a 15 millimeter as far as your body diameter, and 33 grams, and it's made of aircraft grade aluminum. We'll give it the measurement quickly here in inches. So you're talking about 4 inches from end to end, and then about ½ an inch, if I remember correctly. Yeah, about ½ an inch across the front there. So if I get the information on the Lumen output, I will put it right here in the video so you can see it, but you'll see what it looks like when I take it out to use it. But it is interesting that that's not available, at least readily available, and I've seen that for other Thorfire lights as well. So just something to keep in mind. Your price point is going to be around 15-16 bucks, and you can get it on Amazon. I put a link down below. So I think what you're getting for a light, I think, is really good when you consider, 3 different outputs. It seems like it's nicely made. I can't tell you about long-term durability because I haven't had it that long. But for 16 bucks, 15 bucks, you're not spending a ton of money, and I think you're going to get something that's going to make you pretty happy. All right, let's move on to the next one. That will be the VG10. Next up, we have the VG10, and this would definitely qualify as an EDC light for me. The PF01 is definitely an EDC light. It's very small though. It's kind of like pen light size. This one gives you a lot more output, and it could still fit into a pocket. Definitely fit into like a side leg pocket on a pair of cargo jeans or cargo pants. When you get up to this last guy we'll be looking at, which is the C8S, this one's just too big. The bezel's too big. The head's too big. I just wouldn't use that for an EDC light. Throw it in a bag, car, yeah, but this one I think you could still use as an EDC light quite comfortably. So you've got a bunch of different outputs. Your high output, 847 lumens. Your medium is 300, your low is 30, and then your moonlight is 0.2. It is IPX8 rated, so it's going to be good underwater to 2 meters. You can run this off 2 CR123s or one 18650. I've got an 18650 in here, and we'll show you what that looks like in a moment. Kind of an overall cool looking light. You do have this tactical ring here. You also have some holes here on the back side, just on this one side, to let me see if I can get the light, yeah, to shine through there, to run some lanyard through if you want. Pocket clip is here. Again, I'm generally not a huge fan of that. I prefer if it was up here and facing down, but it is what it is. And then there's a look. Pretty aggressive bezel there. So again, if you use that, you can definitely let somebody know you mean business. That's the quick rundown on that, and again, we'll show you what it looks like in just a moment, actually using it outside in the dark. As far as your size for the VG10, you're going to be talking about 134 millimeters long and 25 millimeters across the body diameter and 32.5 millimeters across the head. As far as doing this in inches, from end to end, you're looking at about a little bit less than 5.5 Across the head here, we're looking at about 1.5 inches, and then if I remember, it's about it's about 1 inch across the end cap there. The other thing I wanted to mention is that you can get it with a battery and a charger. So you can get the light by itself, just the VG10, and that's going to run you $26. If you get it with the light and the battery and the charger, that's going to run you $36. So basically $10 more, you're going to be getting the battery and the charger as well. So that's a nice deal. Again, these are very budget-friendly lights. Not going to cost you a ton of money, and I think you're getting quite a good amount of output from the different lights. All right, let's look at the C8S. Last up we have the C8S. Here's some of the details. Runs on a Cree XM-L2 LED, and they're saying it's going to give you a lifespan of 20 years. It uses one 18650 battery. Your length end to end, 143 millimeters. Across the body, 25.4 millimeters, and across the head, 44.5 millimeters. Let's just do that with the tape measure here. So end to end, you're looking at almost exactly 6. About 1 inch across the back there, yeah, just about 1 inch. And then across the front here, about 1.75 inches it looks like. So you got a tail cap pressure switch, maximum output of 900 lumens. And again, this is another one of those. I dug around and I looked through the entire manual here as well, and could not find all the different outputs as far as, you know, what the high, medium, low was. So we'll show you what that looks like, and you can make some conclusions on your own if it's going to be a light that's good for you. We'll do a quick size comparison here. We'll work from this end down to here, and then I'll actually show you some of them side by side. We'll get the SOG Dark Energy. We've got the Streamlight Polytac 511 ATAC PL, the TI3 from ThruNite, the Archer 1A V2 from ThruNite. Then we have the Surefire Fury, and then the PF-01, the C8S, and then the VG10. So just to kind of compare size-wise, to show you something very small compared to something very big, I'm going to take all these out of here. We'll give you the TI3 compared to the C8S. So obviously, let me zoom in here a little bit. Obviously, no comparison. This thing is ginormous compared to that. What is the Thorfire there compared to? Here it is next to the SOG Dark Energy. So comparable in size. The head of this is bigger than the Dark Energy. I'll even compare it to the Surefire Fury, which is actually a little bit smaller than the SOG Dark Energy. And I've got my Theorem switchback on there. Great product if you haven't seen that before. Let me bring this back a little bit so you can see. Again, the head on this one is much bigger than, not much bigger, but bigger than the Surefire Fury. Compare some of these small ones now. Here's the Thorfire PF0 and it is more compact than the 511 ATAC. Definitely bigger than the TI3. Space those out a little bit. TI3 from ThruNite. I'll zoom in one more time there a little bit so you can see. And then here's the Archer 1A V2, and this is definitely, you know, the diameter is bigger on this. These are all very similar as far as your overall diameter. And then last up, put the last Thorfire down here, the VG10, and that one is going to compare pretty nicely. I get it to stop rolling. Yeah, there we go. Pretty nicely to the Streamlight Polytac. So pretty similar in size, and going to be smaller than the Surefire Fury, smaller than the SOG Dark Energy as well. So I would call this kind of, again, this is maybe a little bit big for me for an EDC, but I've carried the Polytac and I've carried the Surefire Fury. This is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, EDC light. Again, the major challenge for me is just this pocket clip. If the pocket clip was up higher, that would be better for me, but it is what it is. Out in the backyard now, I'm looking off in the distance about 60 feet or so at the shed and the playset. And I'll show you real quick. This is the PF-01. So I'm going to go through all 3 settings: low, medium, high. So on the highest setting, you're starting to make out some shapes out there. Now with the actual human eye, I can see decently, I would say. If I came out into the backyard and shined this, I would definitely be able to see if there was someone or something out here. It's definitely not lighting up the whole yard in an amazing way. One thing I will tell you though is that side to side, you're talking my yard is probably about 50 feet across. I can see the entire back fence. So from one end to the other end, and I'll show you, let me get another light out here to show you what that looks like. So there's the shed, and over to that side is one corner, and then all the way over to that, behind that bar, behind the ladder is the other corner. So with on the highest setting with the PF01, I can see that entire area. Again, hard to pick up on camera, but I can still see that. Let me show you my hand here. There's the lowest setting, medium, and the highest setting. Again, low, medium, and high. I'm about 10 feet away from our back mudroom door, so I'm going to show you what that looks like. Lowest setting, you can kind of make out the door on camera. Low, medium, and then on your highest setting you can definitely see that. So let me just back away here, and you can see as I continue to back away, we still have some good light. I'm at about twice that distance now, so I'm about 20 feet from the door. You can still see it quite well. Back up more. So I'm about probably 35 feet now. I'm just judging by the what I know to be the width of the yard. And if I go all the way back to the fence, which is about 50 feet away from the other side of the fence, so we're talking probably about 40 feet, 45 feet at this point. You can still see that quite well on the highest setting. Light number 2 is the VG10. We're looking out at the shed again. Here it is on your highest setting. And again, if I shine it right here, I can see, let me just loosen that up, I can see the entire yard from all the way over there in the corner to all the way over behind that ladder in the corner. So it definitely gives a lot of output, a lot of light here. And it's kind of a misty night, so there's a little bit of fog kind of in the air, but not terrible. Let me scroll through here. So 1, 2, 3. Highest, there's your medium, there's your lowest setting, and then your firefly. So you really can't see the last two on the camera. Once again, highest, medium you can see, and again I would definitely be comfortable with this light. You know, having to look for a spot for something in the backyard 50 feet away, give or take. So high, medium, and then let me show it on my hand here. You can see there is light coming out, just not a ton. Highest, medium, low, and then your moonlight setting. Go back to the highest setting here. And I'm holding this up at about 7 feet, you know, so above my head and looking around. And the ring on this, we do have the main hot center, and then we have the first ring, we have a secondary ring. Actually, we have the main hot center, and then a first ring, a second ring. It looks like a third ring even. So yeah, just something to be aware of. Some people just, you know, want that hot center and then the ring, and that's it. You're not going to get that out of this light. However, I can see the entire yard when I shine it here. When I shine it here, I can see the entire backyard, no problem whatsoever. I've got the C8S now, and I will tell you, as soon as I turn this on, I can tell that this one is the brightest of all of them. And they're saying around 900 lumens. Nice hot center, and then you've got the ring that again fills the entire backyard. So 50 feet, I would say probably 60, 65 feet side to side. You can see everything just fine here. Let me scroll through for you. So high, medium, low, you can't really see out there, but you can see it on my hand. And then there's your firefly setting again. So we'll go through that. It's clicked in at the high. You can definitely see a lot. See a lot there. Click it off. Click it back on. We're going into medium. Low. Again, you can see a little bit kind of reflecting there off the distance, that pole in the corner. That's low. And then again on your firefly setting, you can really only see up very close. So that's what that looks like. One thing I want to mention about the C8S is it does have a memory feature, and so it's shining on now. If you have the light on any setting for more than 3 seconds and then you turn it off, when you turn it back on, it will come on at that same setting. So let me go down to, there's my second setting, a little bit dim for you to see, but I keep this on for, let me put my hand here, keep that on for more than 3 seconds. Now turn it off. It's going to come back onto that same setting. I'll scroll down to the moonlight setting, keep it on for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3-ish. Off. I'm going to put it back on. So once again, if you have it on for 3 seconds or more and then you turn it off, it'll come back on at that setting you were just using. Before I offer you my final thoughts here, I just want to mention real quickly that both the VG10 and the C8S do have that memory feature. So if you run the light for 3 seconds or more on a certain lumen output, when you turn it off and then you turn it back on, it's going to come on at that same lumen output. Bottom line for these items, first I'll say I haven't used them long term, so I can't give you the long term perspective on them. What I can tell you is that they're very budget friendly, and to get lights, you know, they're going to be putting out, especially for these two, around a 900 lumen output according to what they say at least. That's a lot of lumen output for, on the high end, 36 bucks for the VG10 plus a battery plus a charger. I mean, that just seems like a really good deal. So if you want to get into some lights that have a higher lumen output but don't want to spend a ton of money, this could be a really good option for you to consider these. I really have liked the PF01. Make sure I got the name right there. Yeah, PF01 a lot as a little EDC light. I dropped a pen in a car when I was in Atlanta at Blade Show, and was using this light to actually search for my pen in the car, and it was plenty of light. It lit up the whole car really nicely, so that was nice to actually have a situation where I needed a light. I used it, and that thing functioned quite well. I actually like the matte finish on the C8S the best. A little bit too much of a sheen on those guys for me, but it is what it is. It's not a make or break thing. But budget friendly, they function well. I like the fact that for some of these lights you can use a variety of different batteries. I also like for the PF01 that you just using one AAA. Easy to get, super low cost. They're available, you know, in tons and tons of different places. So that's cool. I'm going to be in contact with Thorfire and kind of dig a little bit, get some more answers to some questions that I have about their stuff. And I want to encourage you to head over to We All Juggle Knives. He's reviewed at least two. He's got one tiny little keychain flashlight and then a diving light, which has, you know, something like over 1,000 lumens or something. So for the price, what you're paying so far, I've been pretty impressed with these lights. We'll see how they hold up, and I'll certainly report back in after I use them for a little bit more. But right now, they're getting a thumbs up from Everyday Tactical Vids as far as a budget-friendly light that gives you a lot of lumen output, and they seem to be nicely made. We will definitely see in the long term, and I will let you know. But right now, thumbs up, thumbs up. I'll put links down below in the description if you want to head over to Amazon and pick up any of these lights. Thanks as always for checking out our videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids on YouTube if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram and Tumblr as well. Take care.